Families across America are living in limbo. Every single month of waiting on the I-130 petition has meant missed birthdays, empty chairs at the dinner table, and children growing up oceans apart from their parents. But now in September 2025, something is finally shifting. USCIS has just released new data, and for the first time in years, family-based petitions are showing signs of real movement. This isn't just a routine update. This is the kind of change that can mean the difference between waiting months instead of years or watching your dreams of reunification get buried under endless backlogs. In this video, we'll break down the latest I-130 processing times, explain which categories are finally speeding up, and point out which families are still stuck waiting. Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an important update. What is Form I-130 and why it matters? The I-130 petition for alien relative is the very foundation of family-based immigration in the United States. It's the first step in proving that a real legitimate relationship exists between a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident and the family member they want to bring to America. Approval of the I-130 does not give someone a green card immediately, but it opens the door, allowing the beneficiary to move forward with their application for lawful permanent residency once a visa number becomes available. Here's the harsh reality. When this petition is delayed, families are forced to live apart. Parents are separated from their children. Spouses live in different countries. Dreams are put on hold. That's why the September 2025 update is so important. For the first time in years, USCIS is showing measurable improvements in speed, immediate relatives of U.S. citizens. Let's start with the good news. Immediate relatives of U.S. citizens, spouses, unmarried children under 21, and parents have always had an advantage. Unlike other categories, they're not subject to visa caps. That means that once their petition is approved, there's always a visa available. Here's the update. For cases filed abroad, the average processing time is now about 14.5 months. That's down from nearly 2 years in early 2024. For cases filed inside the United States, where families apply concurrently with Form I-485 for adjustment of status, the processing time is now averaging just a little over 8 months. That's on the fastest timeline seen in family immigration right now for thousands of couples and parents. This is honestly the first real sign of hope that separation might not stretch into multiple years. Parents of U.S. citizens. Parents fall into the same immediate relative category, but in practice, they've often waited longer because of the sheer volume of applications. As of September 2025, USCIS reports that petitions for parents filed abroad are averaging 14 to 15 months. This may not sound like a dramatic improvement, but for elderly parents, every month matters. For many families, this is more than just numbers. It's about whether parents can spend their final years with their children and grandchildren. Family preference categories. Now comes the tough part. For families that fall under the preference system, the wait is much longer. These are U.S. citizens petitioning for unmarried adult children, married children, or siblings. Here's what it looks like today. Adult sons and daughters of U.S. citizens are facing waits of 7 to 10 years depending on their country of origin. Married children are stuck in similar timelines. Siblings. If you're from Mexico or the Philippines, the backlog can stretch over 20 years, and that's on top of the 2 to 3 years it may take USCIS to approve the I-130 petition itself. In some cases, USCIS even slows down its own processing because they know the visa won't be available for decades. It's a devastating reality, but it reflects how the quota-based preference system works. Green card holders petitioning relatives. Lawful permanent residents or green card holders also have the ability to petition for certain family members. The F2A category covers spouses and unmarried children under 21. Right now, USCIS reports processing times of about 35 months. That's nearly 3 years, but still slightly faster than in previous years. It's important to note green card holders cannot petition for parents. That right belongs only to United States citizens for adult or married children. The wait is even longer because, those cases fall into the preference backlog. What affects your processing time? Why does one case move faster than another? Well, several factors play a role. Service center location. Some USCIS centers are simply faster than others. Workload fluctuations, surges in applications, or sudden policy changes can slow everything down. And honestly, application accuracy, missing documents, inconsistencies, or mistakes almost guarantee delays. If USCIS issues a request for evidence, you could actually lose months, which can be really frustrating. Visa Bulletin priority dates for preference categories are another thing to keep in mind. The monthly Visa Bulletin determines when you can move forward, and honestly, priority dates can jump forward or stall without warning. As of September 2025, the filing fee for the I-130 remains $675. And remember, this is just the beginning. Families also face additional fees for adjustment of status, consular processing biometrics, and the green card itself. For many, the financial burden is heavy, and when you add the cost of hiring an attorney to navigate this complicated process, the price of reunification rises even higher. So what does all of this mean for families right now, if your family is waiting? Well, if you're a U.S. citizen filing for a spouse, child, or parent, this is honestly good news. Processing times are moving faster. In some cases, we're seeing months being cut off the wait, which is definitely a positive sign. But if you're in a preference category like siblings, married children, or adult children, the improvements really don't change much. The visa backlog is still enormous, and families could be waiting a decade or more. Still, this shift in processing speed shows that USCIS is starting to tackle some long-standing inefficiencies. For families living in uncertainty, even small improvements can honestly mean real hope. For years, USCIS has been criticized for crushing backlogs and endless delays, but the September 2025 update shows that progress is possible. Immediate relatives are seeing real movement, with average waits dropping closer to 1 year. Green card holders and preference categories, unfortunately, are still trapped in the long game. So, here's the takeaway. Track your case closely, double-check your paperwork, keep an eye on the Visa Bulletin every month. For some, the system is finally beginning to move. For others, the road remains painfully long. But make no mistake, this month's update is the first real sign that the immigration system may be shifting towards efficiency, even if the destination is still far away. That's all for today. Stay tuned to USA Speaks as we continue tracking every shift, every update, and every breakthrough in U.S. immigration. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the updates that could change your future.